Good evening, YouTube. Hope you guys had a good work week. It's only really a 3-day week for me, 4th of July and all. And this week we are diving into another one of my favorite video game series, and that's Metroid. This game was released in 1986, originally for the Famicom Disk System, though I think most people probably know it for its NES release, and for good reason. Though Metroid is regarded today as one of Nintendo's most famous properties, the original Metroid actually didn't do too well in Japan, and that's because it was on the Famicom Disk System. Talked a little bit about that with my Legend of Zelda stream, and the deal was there that the idea of the disk system was to cut down on cartridge cost and also fight video game rentals. And that worked for a while. That's why The Legend of Zelda was a success. But when they came out with cartridges that had bigger memory space, people just preferred to buy those over getting the disc system because it was just a lot easier to do that. So Metroid sort of flopped in Japan, but when it was brought stateside and released on the NES as just a regular cartridge release, it actually did a lot better. If it wasn't for it doing well here in America, Metroid probably wouldn't even be a blip on anyone's radar today. So how I got into the series, I think it was right before my junior year of high school. I started with Metroid Prime, and I loved it so much that I went through the rest of the series, starting from the original Metroid game all the way up to Metroid Other M. This was before Return of Samus came out, if you need some context for that. And I absolutely loved it. While there are certainly some games in the series I like better than others, I would say that there isn't a bad Metroid game. Even Other M, which I know people really hate, even that's not that bad a game. The big issue there is really just the story and how they chose to portray Samus, but that's another story entirely. But in regards to the first Metroid, it probably sounds crazy, but the first Metroid is probably my least favorite game in the series. Now, that's not to say the game wasn't influential. This was the first Metroidvania and all that great stuff, but it's just a game that has sort of been aged out by newer games in the series. Every game in the series that has followed it has just improved on everything it does, so it's just kind of hard to go back to it. And so let's just get into it. With the other NES games I played, I'm going to be playing this on the Famicom, not the Famicom Disk System, what am I saying? The Nintendo Switch Online service. And if you got a problem with that, Nintendo, please keep in mind, I pay for your service. I am not trying to make any money off these videos. This is just a means for me to talk about games. That's all there is to it. Please don't take down my video. Okay, so fantastic title screen right away. The graphic design on the title itself is great. Title Metroid is fantastic, and the background and music just perfectly convey a sci-fi setting. Very well done. Emergency order: defeat the Metroid of the planet Zebes. What? Destroy the Mother Brain, the Mechanical Light Vein, Galaxy Federal Police. Okay, so I'll explain the story here in a second. Okay, so what's going on here? So, essentially, what's going on here is Metroid takes place in a sci-fi setting, and it involves the war between the Galactic Federation and the Space Pirates, which is actually a race of aliens, not an organization. Isn't that weird? Anyway, the Space Pirates steal an organism called a Metroid, which is an alien that has the ability to latch on to a living being and drain its life energy. They want to weaponize it by exposing it to beta waves, which will cause it to multiply. So Space Federation don't want that to happen, but Zebes, not Zebet, Zebes, once try to stop him, but it's too well protected, so they send a bounty hunter named Samus Aran in to stop it. Now, that's all there really is to the plot in-game, and even all that you find in the manual, not in-game. They would expand upon it, going into Samus's backstory, her connection with the Metroids, the Space Pirates, the Chozo, who end up creating the Metroid, all that good stuff. But for the first Metroid game, there isn't a whole lot of story. Okay, so like always, we're going to start with the controls. And movement feels okay. Samus only has one run speed, she doesn't build momentum like Mario. If you jump from a stationary position, she just jumps like normal, but if you get a nice running start, she does her trademark flip jump. Regular jumping, it's okay, you have nice control over where you land, but when you do the flip jump, it sort of forces you into a dedicated arc, and that can make it kind of hard to go where you land. So that's something to keep in mind while you're playing the game. As for your attack, you got your arm cannon, which for whatever reason does not carry over to the whole side of the screen. You actually gotta get a power up for it to have any range, which is really stupid. And you can only aim in 4 directions. Actually only 3 directions. You can only shoot left and right and up. You can't even shoot down. Which essentially means that these guys right here, if they're at my feet, I can't get them. Which is just why. Now, I've always said you can make a game play however you want, as long as the game is designed around that. But there are some instances where it just seems really stupid, and this is an instance of one of that. Why can't you just point your arm cannon down, Samus, or why can't you just duck to shoot something? Just more aggravating than anything. Sometimes it's just best to run past the enemies at this point of the game. Okay, so what we have here is actually one of my favorite invisible tutorials ever. So you get right here, you realize you can't go any further. The game starts, we're still getting used to non-linear games at the time, so most people probably thought that Metroid would be a linear game. And with most side-scrollers, your first inclination is to go right. Why people want to go right, I don't know, that's just what they chose to do. But if you've ever played the original Super Mario Bros., you know you actually can't scroll the screen backwards, you can only go right. So you get to this dead end, you can't go through this crevice, you jump around, you shoot the wall, maybe there's an invisible block here or something. But as you're doing that, you realize you can scroll the screen back, so you go backwards. Go back the way you came. Back to where we started. And if you go just to the left of where you are, you'll find your first power-up. And this is probably the most important power-up in the game, the Morph Ball. So think about that. The most important item in the game is located to the left of where you start, which just goes against everything people had about video games at the time. So through that, it perfectly establishes this is a non-linear game. If you hit a dead end, just go back the way you came. There might be something you missed. So now we got the Morph Ball, which lets you roll up into a ball. Originally, they had a crawling animation for Samus, but it just didn't look right, so someone came up with the idea of her being able to morph into a ball, which is probably Samus's most iconic move, really. It's like Sonic with the spin dash, it's just iconic. As for the graphics, it's still an early NES game. It looks okay. Samus kind of looks like she's wearing a old school diving suit as opposed to a advanced suit of alien armor. The background seems a little lazy, but it does make Samus and the enemies stand out. And the enemies do give off a nice alien vibe, though. Obviously, there's only so much you can do with 8 bits. For a time, it's good, but it's definitely not the best the NES has to offer. The music is really good, though. A lot of you probably recognize the music that's playing right now from Super Smash Bros., which features some great remixes of it. So another thing that makes Metroid such a big landmark in the gaming industry is the fact that Samus is actually a girl. Yeah, you look at this dude running around in the suit of armor, and I think your first thought is that it's a dude. I remember playing Super Smash Bros. For the first time, being unfamiliar with Metroid and Samus, and think of that, you know, this dude in the space armor with a gun for an arm was a dude, but then I played Melee, found that in the trophy descriptions they were referring to Samus as a she. So that was sort of a watershed moment for gaming because there hadn't been a lot of female protagonists at the time, let alone one that undertakes such a big mission as this. Most female characters in video games at the time were, you know, damsel in distress types like Princess Peach and what have you. So that's just another way that Metroid was sort of ahead of its time, I would say. That being said, despite how much I love this series, I will be the first to admit I don't think they've ever really given Samus herself a compelling character. Now, it's not to say they've tried, but, you know, I've always felt their attempts have either been bland, or in the case of Other M, just downright awful. As to what kind of character I would give Samus, this is probably going to sound a little crazy, but I would recommend giving her sort of a hardened Kim Possible personality. That might sound really strange, especially considering how dark the Metroid series can get. But what I always really liked about Kim Possible as a character was, despite all the amazing stuff she can do and how badass she can be, she isn't afraid of her girly side. And I recall one Metroid manga where she shows up to meet someone regarding a bounty, and she shows up dressed in this Carmen Sandiego outfit. I'm sure certain people would describe her appearance there as fabulous. You look at that person and you wouldn't think that that's Samus Aran based on her reputation. And I feel like building upon that would be a good direction to take, showing that even though Samus does all this stuff, she still finds time to find some enjoyment in things. Whether it be dressing, beating with people, you know, all that stuff. And that's why I say a hardened Kim Possible. Not really her having that girly side, but more just trying to find some enjoyment outside her life as a bounty hunter. As a means of coping with all the horrible stuff she likely has to see. It certainly would have been better than watching her break down like a little girl, or have a mental breakdown when she sees Ridley and Other M, which didn't make a lick of sense in that context there, because by that point in the timeline, she had already killed Ridley, I think, 2 or 3 times. So why she was having any kind of reaction to him but it's just foolish. These guys are really getting on my nerves. Probably gonna die here at some point. Gotta be careful, that is lava down there. Getting a bit of slowdown there because of all the stuff that's happening on screen. Gotta remember, this is emulation. So it's not like this is a remastered version of Metroid or anything. But what I just picked up there was an energy tank, which is essentially a second life bar. So now I have 200 points max that I can have, but I only have 99 at the moment, so I need to fill that up, I think. It's gonna be a pain in the butt when I have to backtrack through all this. Gonna do a quick sound check real quick. Pain in the butt when I have to backtrack through all this. Yeah, the control here honestly isn't too bad for how these platforms are laid out. There's a decent size to them, so definitely not difficult to get around. So here's another unique design touch that Metroid introduced. It was one of the first games to really go for an atmospheric soundtrack. When the composer was making the music, he obviously wanted to do the catchy upbeat tunes that Nintendo is known for, but he also wanted to sort of give a vibe to the game, and his approach to doing that was trying to make the music sound like perhaps a noise an alien would make. And I think I get what he's getting at there, but like this little melody you got right here, that's another trademark of the Metroid series right there. Really, with all these Nintendo games, it really is impressive how much is carried over into the modern games. I saw a lot of that with Zelda the other week, too. Okay, so I got a red door here, so to get through there I need missiles, which I don't have right now, so once again, gotta backtrack. Find me some missiles. Now to get up here, I need the freeze ray, so I can freeze these guys in place and platform on them. It certainly feels like a Metroid game playing this. Definitely feels really clunky though, because I can't shoot those enemies like I normally would. And like I said, now I gotta backtrack through all this crap. Easy does it now. The slowdown's actually kind of helping there. Gives me just a few extra seconds to process everything. Oh, not the lava, not the lava. Beat it, Mothra. No, I can't even see. Where am I? What the heck was up with that? Yeah, like with a lot of NES games for the time, the jank is strong with this one. If an enemy actually catches you while you're doing that door transition, it'll actually take damage, which is also really cheap. So you gotta be careful when you go to make that transition. Seriously, why does the beam only go so far? You know, that does beg the question, doesn't it? Samus has a reputation as the strongest bounty hunter in the galaxy. Yet, in her first outing in the series, when she shows up at Zebes, she is pathetically weak. She doesn't have any of her trademark powers. Makes you wonder how she got her reputation, doesn't it? See if I can shoot this guy and get some health. Nope. Got another door here. See if I can kill this guy, get some health. Nope. There's something with the spawns that determines what kind of power-ups you get. Not power-ups, pickups you get. And I've never really understood how it works. Evidently it has to do with animations. I am gonna die. Yep. Nope. Oh, I guess I did have a full energy tank there. That's good. I can't go that way yet, I need my power bombs. Okay, it's all this is one of the Metroid games I played the least. I definitely don't have the map here memorized. See, then it gave me it, but like why it gave me that, I'm not really sure. It depends on the positioning of the enemy, the animation frame. I don't understand how it works. I do know how some aspects of the code here work. So the NES version of Metroid actually uses passwords. And like how the passwords work is actually really interesting. What they essentially do is program the game to put you back at a certain spot in the game. And if you ever spent any amount of time screwing around with the passwords, you'll know that you can get all kinds of weird stuff. There's one cheat code you can do, the most famous example, the Justin Bailey password, which starts you off with all the power-ups, I believe, and also has Samus dressed in a purple leotard and gives her green hair. Who Justin Bailey is and why his name was used for that, I have no idea. But it's probably one of the most famous cheat codes in any Nintendo game. There's another cheat code that when you get to Mother Brain, you'll actually find her already defeated. And then when you get to the ending screen, you know, where Samus usually takes off her power suit, you'll actually have Samus with her back turned to the camera crying. And apparently what the game is doing there, it's kept track of how much time you spent playing, and you've programmed it to where you've been playing for so long that Mother Brain just kind of died on you. If you want to understand this stuff more, look up Johnny vs. Metroid. He has a guy by the name of Experiment come on the channel, and he explains it a lot better than I do. Some kind of programming whiz. Really interesting listening to him talk about that, and I love how his appearance on screen is that of Star Fox Sprite. Alright, so we got missiles. Let's see if I remember how to use these. Alright, so by pressing select, you switch to your missiles, which is signified by Samus changing colors there. Missiles are far more powerful than your regular beam, but unlike your beam, they have a finite amount of ammo. So you need to keep that in mind when you go to use them. This early on in the game, it's kind of in your best interest to save your missiles for doors, because you need 5 of them to open them. Open the red doors. We're gonna press on though, see what we can find. And there's that music again. And another iconic feature of 2D Metroid, the elevators. Well, that's definitely looking alien, doesn't it? Usually how I play Metroid games is when I enter a new area, I try to find a save point as soon as possible. But this first Metroid doesn't have save points, actually, so I just kind of have to go and hope I survive. That is another one of the things that they were trying to convey with Metroid. They're trying to create a sense of isolation. In just about every Metroid game, Samus is alone in a hostile alien environment with no real way of contacting for help, and that's exactly what we have here. Space Federation isn't coming to help her, she's on her own, and if she doesn't succeed, then the galaxy is toast. Now, again, there's only so much that they can convey with a NES game, but you do kind of get a sense of that as you play. Ah, dang. Hey, no. Hate losing track of my sprite like that. Nope, nope, nope. Frick. Thankfully, Unlimited continues, and you can just go back to where you started. And I still have my missile power-up, so I got no reason to go into that room again. What really does suck, though, is that when you die and you restart, you don't start with full health. See? He got in the transition with me. That's what killed me there. God, that sucks. I think I'm going to head up. I know there was a missile door somewhere that I need to check out. That's another thing that you need to understand. Dang it, I was going to say something and now I can't remember what it was. I really need to start writing down my thoughts when I go to do these videos. Look at this madness. Ah! No! Leave me alone! Ah! Yeah, I know. Let me restart. No, it starts me back to the beginning. That actually helps a little bit. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I know I said I had a missile door somewhere I had to go take care of. And I don't remember where it is. And that's primarily because Metroid, the original, lacks a map screen. Like, think of any Metroidvania today, whether it be Shantae, Hollow Knight, Guacamelee, Symphony of the Night, all that stuff. They all have map screens, but for some reason, the first Metroid doesn't. Now, there are ways you could have a map while playing the game. The most famous example was the map that was included in the very first issue of Nintendo Power. But otherwise, just kind of feel like a like a rat in a maze as you're playing this. Again, though, that was kind of cool for the time. Like, you talk to friends about this on the playground. One of you tells you they found a secret, so you head home after school. They show you their secrets. Right? It was a different time with gaming. It's not like today where if you get stuck, you can just look up where to go on the internet. Yeah, I know, I'm fixing to die here. Give me a break. Why it only starts you with 30 points of health when you die, I have no idea. It's just a fine example of something being hard for no good reason. And I don't know why it's giving me missiles, because I do not need missiles right now. I need health points. But like I said, it has something to do with the frame of animation. I do not understand how that works or why it is like that. Just give me some help, damn it. I really needed that health, so I didn't mind going back there a little bit. It does sort of encourage you to kill enemies, which I guess is a good thing. Nah. I just disappeared there for a second. What is up with that? Looking at these sprites, though, these actually do look pretty cool. And, like, I can't get that health power-up right there. Wish it was Metroid Prime where you could just pull it in with the charge beam. What am I saying? This game doesn't even have the charge beam. Okay, it wasn't this door. I think it was the next door. Here we go. I just gotta get through here without dying. Gonna let these guys pass by first. Why it can't just be one missile, I have no idea. But anyway, we got our first power-up here, another power-up here. And also our first Chozo statue, another iconic aspect of the series. What is this? Oh, that's the long beam. There's a way forward right here too. But I need the morph bombs to get through there. But anyway, now I got something that covers the whole screen, which I guess will be helpful. Looks like I can only fire a little bit at a time, though. Oh well, the range will be helpful. Would be nice if I could shoot diagonally, though. Honestly, I wouldn't say that a lot of the enemy movement in this game was designed with Samus's limited attack range in mind. Rather than the game being designed around it, it's more just you have to deal with it. It's not like in Resident Evil 4, where even though you can't move and shoot, there's never a moment in the game where you think you got screwed because you can't move and shoot. Every aspect of that game was designed around that limitation. I would not say that's the case here. And again, I don't remember what's through here. I'm just kind of going through the motions, trying to find power-ups to move forward. brain's getting busy again. Go! And now I'm down to next to nothing again. But I would say we are on the right track here. Assuming I don't die. Oh, this doesn't help us, so... This is actually the way to Mother Brain's area. And in order to get there, you need to find these two bosses here, which are Kraid and Ridley. I think everyone knows Ridley, but Kraid is that monster you see in the back of the stage in Super Smash Bros. Melee. The one that attacks the stage. But in this game, he's actually a pipsqueak. He's probably no bigger than this statue right here. These days, he's famous for being a Godzilla-sized monster. So, anyway, back at it. And now I'm dead again. Was that the third death? But I still have my long beam, so that's nice. Go. Note to self, don't shoot him. Okay, now going forward that way, so we gotta go up. People often complain about the backtracking in Metroid games, which is sort of a necessary evil with any kind of Metroidvania. But in a game where you're constantly dying due to the fact that you're generally running low on health and don't have a reliable way to refill it, you find yourself going over the same stretch of land again and again. Stream's been going for about 40 minutes now, and you guys have probably only seen this part of the game, really. In something like Symphony of the Night or Super Metroid, I would have been to a lot of different environments by now. Up, up. It's nice that my attack range is expanding, though. How the idea for Metroid actually came about was because R&D 1 wanted to combine the the exploration of The Legend of Zelda with the 2D platforming action of Super Mario Bros. And they decided to combine it with a little bit of sci-fi, namely Ridley Scott's Alien. And that's how you get what we know as Metroid today. There's even a funny story as to where the title Metroid came from. When they were brainstorming ideas, some guy made the comments that going through the tunnels in the game was like going through the metro, which was a big part of transportation, which is a big part of transportation in Japan. And someone else made the comment that Samus looks like an android, so combine the two together, that's how you get Metroid. In game, though, it's funny. The name Metroid also refers not just to the alien you're trying to find, but also get out of the lava. It also means something in the Chozo language. Now, the Chozo, that statue you saw earlier, they're a race of highly advanced aliens who also had sort of a... Ah, man, I went back to the same place, didn't I? God damn it. I thought I already passed this one. Now I'm gonna frickin' die again, aren't I? Degens! Also, is it just me, or does Samus's run cycle make it look like she's doing the chicken walk? Like, the movement of her pumping her arms kind of looks like she's flapping her wings in the chicken dance. Ah. I think I gotta go through here. Yep. Drink. Okay, that way I think. Yeah, I should be sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in here. This. Oh, that's my fault. Leads to that spot where I need the morph bombs. Laid it right on that thing. Stupid porcupine things. What do you even call those things? I don't think this is like The Legend of Zelda where all the enemies have names. I don't think that came about until Metroid Prime, where you had the ability to scan enemies to get information on them. Yeah, look at that slowdown. That music is starting to get a little grating too. Like a lot of NES games, it's the main song you hear for the duration of the game. Last time I was here, I went up. No, I can't go up. I need to go down. No, down. I have no sense of direction. I feel like Zoro in One Piece. You tell me where I need to go, and I'll go in the exact wrong direction. Can't remember if I've already been this way or not. Yeah, I think I've already been this way, haven't I? Well, it's worth checking. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have I been here? Oh hell, I haven't been in here. But I guess that is another point of criticism. A lot of these areas are starting to blend together, so... But now I got morph bombs. Which means I can explore further. What that kind of entails is I just bomb the hell out of everything, looking for secret passageways. That music is a good indication that there's something important nearby, I guess. Can't go that way. Nope. Is there a way I can go down here? Doesn't look like it. Like, listen to that music a little deeper and starting to find there's a little bit of a bass to it, too. It really is amazing what they're able to squeeze out of the NES sound chip at times. I had a friend in college who was really big into NES chip tunes. Used to play the music all the time when we were working on our projects in graphic design. I remember playing for him Castlevania and the Moon theme from DuckTales, and him just being blown away by that stuff, and for good reason, because that's some of the best music on the NES. I really need to cover Castlevania at some point too. We'll probably do that come Halloween. Some people might be curious as to what I mean when I say Metroidvania. Well, Metroidvania sort of refers to the subgenre that Metroid belongs to. And it essentially refers to any non-linear 2D action game. In recent years, some people have thrown around the term search action. Probably because it sounds better than Metroidvania, but I refuse to use it because I'm just a little too attached to how stupid Metroidvania sounds. Why it's called Metroidvania has to do with the two main franchises that coined the term. You obviously have Metroid, which invented the genre, but then the Vania part from it comes from Castlevania with Symphony of the Night. They adopted the same structure as Metroid. And ever since then, any game like this has been referred to as Metroidvania. It's stupid, yes, but that's part of why there's a charm to it. And again, I still have my morph balls. Go back this way. Maybe there's a way forward here too. You never know where you'll find a secret passage. Doesn't look like there's one here though. I'm sure Metroid speedrunners are yelling at the screen right now, talking about what a poor job I'm doing. This isn't what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do this, do that. You're not going to have a good time. You're not going to get to see Samus in a bikini. And fair. I'm not going to pretend like I have any idea what I'm doing playing this game, or really any NES game for that matter. You gotta keep in mind, these games are all well before my time. I grew up on the N64. That's when I got into video games. So I don't know anything about this stuff. It's just something I played for curiosity's sake. So, got some areas I can bomb here. So let's see where this takes us. Little booger. Probably take those guys out with morph bombs. But doing so is just a little time consuming. See if I can get this one. And I did. But I took a hit, so it was pointless. Beautiful. Really is nice having a beam with range now. This is the only Metroid game I can think of where you have to get a power-up to have a beam that goes the whole way across the screen. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They carried over into the remake Zero Mission as well. Which, by the way, if you're looking to play the original Metroid, just play Zero Mission. It's a ground-up remake that incorporates all the enhancements that came about because of Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion. So, if you have the option to play that, that's the one I recommend going with. I'm sure they're going to add that to Switch Online here soon. And I believe this will take us to Kraid's Lair. So let's see where this goes. Ah, finally, some different music. And again, you guys probably recognize this from Super Smash Brothers. This is the music that plays in Brine Star Depths, I think it's called. Hey! I'm going to die. This thing's probably gonna kill me. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll kill it. Ah, you son of a... Why is that thing there? That was a horrible instance of enemy placement. That is NES hard right there. There is no way I would have seen that coming. Because why would that thing pop up? Why won't this thing go? I feel like there's some glitches here. I think we're gonna go this way. Ah, man, I'm getting swarmed. Get on the platform, Samus. I got another missile upgrade, that's a good thing. With each missile upgrade, it does give you 5 missiles, which is good. But it doesn't do me any good when I only get 30 health points back when I die. Why can't I have a full health bar? Alright, we went that way. Let's go down and see what we find. Man, this almost looks the same, doesn't it? All health points. This is usually about the time when I call it quits on Metroid. But I always try to do these streams for at least an hour and a half, and I still got 35 minutes to go. So, we're gonna keep going. So wait, let's see. Okay, so let's go this way. I just noticed it refills my missiles, but it doesn't refill my health. What is the deal? I know there was a secret passage there, I know it. Okay, we'll go down to the 3rd floor then. Alright, let's see where this goes. Okay, I guess it doesn't refill my missiles, huh? Okay, I need to find a place to grind for health, because this is getting ridiculous. Just really makes you wish that you were playing Super Metroid, doesn't it? At least it makes me wish I was playing that game. Why couldn't you get me health there? I don't need missiles, I need health. No health. Don't need missiles. Yeah, might as well head up, see where we're at. Real lot of lives in. Keep going. Nothing there. At least nothing I can see. I think there is something on this side, though. There's some kind of trick I think you can do, bomb jumping, but I've never been able to pull it off myself. Go! Yeah, it sucks. Come on. Give me health. This is starting to get old. Like, the fact that you just have to spend so much time grinding for health whenever you die, that's just a major pace breaker. You don't have to do this in other Metroid games. In other Metroid games, you typically have health stations where you can refill your health and ammo. And in games like Metroid Prime, all that stuff is actually built into the save points, which is my ideal. Because that not only refills your health and ammo, but it also checkpoints your progress, which is nice. That should be the standard in my opinion. But that wouldn't become a standard until Metroid Prime, I think. And some people say I spend too much time during the start of the videos talking about the history of games. Man, it's gonna take me forever to explain the history behind Metroid Prime. I may just link the What's Happened video by Matt and Muscles about that. He covers it in much greater depth than I do. Enough with the friggin' missiles, that's not what I'm looking for. Don't need missiles, I need health. I guess that's a dead end. Don't need missiles, I need health. How many times am I going to say that? Probably enough to irritate some people. Really need to look into video editing, so... we might begin somewhere here. Maybe not that way. Gotta reach it before these guys do. Take that. I guess the warp arms are pretty powerful. Okay, so I need to go up more. Guess I can't go that way. I think I need to try to go for the top pipe there. Is this enemy respawning here? There better be a power-up in here. I'm not talking about a missile expansion. Though an energy tank would certainly be nice. I think that would refill my energy, which would be real nice. But it's a missile tank. Looks like I gotta go back. All that work coming here, and now I just gotta turn around and go out. Okay, these things just gonna keep coming. Guess I could grind right here. Screw it. I didn't mean to do that. About to die again. And look at when I fire, how the heads up just goes nuts. I'm curious, is that just the emulation on Nintendo Switch Online, or is the NES game like that too? I just remembered, I have no idea where I'm going. This is just getting tiresome to play. For a game that's this long, at least by the standards of an NES game, having boredom set in like this is just not something you want to happen. Combination of boredom and aggravation. Because I just, for the life of me, cannot get a full freaking health bar. I think I've already been this. I cannot remember if I have or not, so I'm just going to. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Just keep it together for 20 minutes, Jaeger. Nope. Stay. Can't you tell I'm a modern gamer? Probably too much, I would say. Jeez. No idea where I've been, no idea where I need to go. I think this is how you know you're playing Metroid. See, I could have just aimed up there and shot that thing, but there was a stupid hedgehog in the way. I seriously should consider cutting these videos down to an hour. Pretty sure watching me play games like this for an hour and a half isn't terribly entertaining. I think by now you guys have gotten the general gist of what the original Metroid is about. But I gotta stick to my guns for now. Did I miss a door? I was looking for a door. I don't know why, but whenever I try to shoot up, I have a hard time keeping Samus in place. Probably because of the D-pad on my Pro Control. I think I've already been this way too. Yep. These look like flying green carrots, don't they? Maybe that wasn't the way I thought it was. Man, I am so lost right now. "13 minutes. 13 minutes. I'm pretty sure I've already been this way, but I just want to be sure. And I'm sure. Frick. Honestly, with that music, I feel like the game is taunting me. Not going that way. Go through here. Probably die again. Maybe I should have played using a map. Not like it would have been hard to find one. Get... You know what? I've had... Okay, so... Metroid is an influential game. I am not going to dispute that. I am a huge fan of the Metroidvania genre. I love the hell out of the Metroid series. I love the hell out of Castlevania. And I love the hell out of all the games that took influence from this game. But the fact of the matter is, the first Metroid just does not hold up too well. The controls feel a little sluggish. The level design makes it difficult to keep track of where you are. The fact that there's no map screen is a huge hindrance. But I think the biggest issue with this game is that when you die, you do not get all your health back. You always start with 30, which is just not enough to get anywhere in the game. If this game gave you back like 100% of your health, like I had 2 energy tanks that I'd be 200 hit points I had, then I'm sure it would be easier to get further in this game, but the fact of the matter is, you don't, and that just makes the game a lot harder than it needs to be. It's still an NES classic, it still has its place in history, but that's only if you look past its flaws. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. I do these streams every week. Typically on Saturday at 8, though next week we are going to be doing it a little bit earlier because I'm taking another trip on Saturday. Next time we're going to be playing Sonic CD. Head back into the Sonic the Hedgehog series. And I'm also going to be putting my most recent review of Metroid in the subscription, so be sure to look at that if you want to know my full thoughts on Metroid. But anyway, hope you guys have a good night, have a good work week, and I'll catch you later.